Constitution guarantees the right to freedom of association, but Hindref was outlawed. I've never been given the due registration as of now. And then also the allegations of LTTE before the 25th of November 2007, when unprecedentedly, you see, the Indians in Malaysia are very passive, very timid. It is not like that. There's no history of the Indians coming in large numbers to the streets. Never before. For the first time it happened. And in order to justify, plus my brother Vedamurti, who is in exile in London, living in exile in London, there were 5 lawyers. He happened to be out of the country at that time. So in order to justify our detention without trial, we all are lawyers. I'm a lawyer of almost 20 years standing down. In order to justify our detention under the ISA, they created or fabricated an LTTE charge, Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, saying that we have links with them and so on and so forth, to justify and to punish us internationally. The main motive was to sidestep from the original issue, that was the marginalization, discrimination of the Indians in Malaysia. In short, the exclusion of the Indians from the national mainstream development of Malaysia. For example, even our Human Rights Party has not been registered as of date, despite 8 months of our submission for registration. It has not been registered. In conclusion, for example, the United States Civil Rights Act was enacted in 1964, and the Voting Rights Act was enacted in 1965. I believe the Voting Rights Act, for the first time, I stand corrected, for the first time gave the blacks the right to vote in 1965 with the Voting Rights Act. But within 45 years of democracy in the United States of America, a black, inverted commas, Muslim could become the president of the United States of America. Whereas in Malaysia, to draw a parallel in Malaysia, not many people would talk about it, but we would talk about it. An Indian or a Chinese cannot become a postmaster in the smallest district in Malaysia. You cannot become a postmaster. They do not allow you. There are no laws, but it doesn't happen. People do not know, the world does not know this. You cannot become a headmaster of a Malay school. There may be some headmasters, but they are at the retiring age. They will slowly be retired soon. Let alone a district officer, the lowest level executive job at the district level, a district officer. There are no Indian district officers in Malaysia, none. The constitution does not prohibit, but why? Whereas in America, the CEO, the president of the United States of America is a black. Why can't we even get a job as a district officer? So in short, pray tell me one other country in the world which has got racism, supremacy to this extent. Of course, the last being, as I said earlier, in South Africa, which ended 20 years ago. Basically, in conclusion, the Indians are being excluded from the national mainstream development of Malaysia at every level, from the top level right to the bottom. And finally, my final point before I depart is even the opposition parties, PAS, Keadilan, DAP, the civil society, the print and electronic media, the alternative media, have all contributed over the years to the current critical state of the Indian problems in Malaysia today. So everybody, while the ruling party does it by commission, the opposition parties, the NGOs, I was shocked when I went to England, when I had to leave, I was threatened at gunpoint in the year 2005. So I sought temporary asylum in the United Kingdom in 2005. Then I did go to Geneva, and I saw the international reports. There was zero reporting on the critical Indian issues in Malaysia. That was an eye-opener for me, that the NGOs, the opposition parties, the civil society, for some reason they sidestep the whole Indian issue. Okay, so that is where the Indian issue over the years, by omission, it has contributed to the Indian issue becoming less critical so far. Thank you very much for your attention. Vakratunda Maha